O'Shea Jackson until I watched it. And here are some things that I don't like with this, right? By the way, welcome to everyone. I apologize. I usually go through and welcome the first couple of people here, so I apologize for that. Welcome to everyone here. I truly appreciate you for being here. But I watching this is like watching an abusive relationship, and I apologize, trigger warning. Um, uh, are you familiar with his King Gundan? No, King Gunda channel. No, I am not familiar. I know that he went to different countries in Africa at some point, but I don't know anything about him. Don't follow him, but I recognize that there is space for people who don't really do analysis and just say, I like this creator, I'm gonna um, cheer for them. I don't like this creator, I'm gonna not cheer for them. And there's no kind of analysis going on. So I I don't take him seriously in that way in terms of either adding or taking away from the conversation as a general matter. But I realize now why there's so much discomfort with the manosphere. From an outside looking in, it feels like there is an abusive relationship going on, and someone is telling you who you are and what you should be, while most of them don't explicitly say it. O'Shea Duke Jackson explicitly says it, right? And it's interesting because in his expression of what Alpha Male Strategy and Kevin Samuels are talking about, he is very callous. And because he's very callous, he is saying some of the unspoken parts of the other content creators who might be better at communicating their own message if they want to just be undercover and not explicit in what they're saying. So O'Shea Duke Jackson, we get to talk about him today. Um, and I have a lot to say. So before I do that, let me
Mrs. Keefus.
Well, hello, sugar love.
please can you comment again? I saw your comment earlier, but it disappeared, and I'm
We
trying
got
to
to start
find your name.
staying on the top of these
Um,
manospheres and
yeah,
red
just
pills
comment
and
again.
stuff.
I need to
Because they
look for
staying
you.
on top of
Anywho,
our
oh, there
cases.
you go. All right, cool, got it. So let's watch this video and we're gonna talk because again, this is not going to mean a lot to people who are already convinced of these ideas, but at least it is an example of something being just explicit. Um, and the explicit nature of it allows us to um, to really talk about what it is that he's actually saying as opposed to what he's telling us he's saying because we get to hear it explicitly now. So let's go jump into the video um, before we get lost in me talking.
Oh, the so I want to take it to a snippet of the DJ Vlad interview with Kevin Samuels. I know I'm a little late on this, but this was posted about a week ago. Okay, and
Why doesn't every home in the US have solar panels? The number one reason
Samuels
is not about
tells
sunlight or weather.
they're talking about marriages and long-term relationships and how people sometimes years down the line they're sleeping with somebody else in the marriage. But they stay together because there's children in the marriage. They're staying together because there's a business in the marriage. And a lot of times when you have flings with people, they die out because you can only be attracted to somebody for so long. And then you need other things there to keep them. At some point, we start talking about, toward the end of this clip, Kevin Samuels kind of bread and butter. which is what average men want. And he's talking about it from a black community perspective. He didn't say black women. But if you really notice what he starts to mention, and while he's synthesizing a phrase, you hear these traits, the personification of, well, if you are this kind of guy, you're a lame. If you're an educated guy, you're a lame.
All right. So here we get the first glimpse of him not understanding code, right? So I watched Kevin Samuel's interview on Vlad TV. Anyway, that's a whole separate thing that I'm not going to get into. You'll hear a little bit, but like no. So he says explicitly that Kevin Samuels is talking about the Black community. This, I think, is very obvious, but the thing about the interview is if you went to this particular interview right here and you accused him, Kevin Samuels, of talking about the Black community, he could have said, no, he was talking about men generally and women generally, because he even went into men, we built this. Right. And if we're talking about America, well, I'm not even going to get into that. Right. But Kevin Samuels allowed himself the excuse to say, I wasn't just talking about Black men when I say we built this. He could have talked about all kinds of men. Right. But we knew who he was talking about, even though he didn't say it explicitly. This guy decided to go and say it explicitly. So this is the first point. Unimportant, right? But I just wanted to point that out. Hey, Bello.
So there's only one group of people that have that stereotype in our community, and we know who they are. It's not white women. It's not Asian women. We know who has that stereotype. That's sisters, okay? Not saying all of them exhibit this, but that's what he's saying.
Okay, sorry, again, we're talking about anti-intellectualism in the Black community. And he is saying that in the Black community, sisters, Black women, do not like smart men and call them lames, right? Now, even the phrase lame is something that was born out of a kind of a hip hop culture. We know that the currency in hip hop culture is not with women. Like, we know that, right? Like, the currency in hip hop culture is predominantly about men and what men want to put forward. Now, we can debate about who actually has the saying, if it's the exec or the artist, but we know that, right? So it's interesting. It is super interesting to me that he's going to put the onus on Black women as opposed to Black men in talking about the anti-intellectualism that exists in the Black community. That is not, that's far from the truth, right? But let's continue.
Yet, these men are average, are above average earners. You know, they'll end up being that, or they're on their way to greatness, you know? But those women who are calling these guys lame and they don't have anything, well, it's funny because the women that are crapping on those guys, these guys typically have more than them. And see, that's the interesting point about what Kevin Samuels considers, and others now, modern women. You see, many modern women today believe that they have the right to pick and choose.
So you said actually the label of educated lame has been around longer than hip hop. This might be true. I'm not going to argue you on this point, but if you're arguing right now that this is not this phrase, right? Not just about popularizing it, but this is not a phrase of Black men. If this is not a weapon that Black men use against other Black men, I'm going to need receipts on that, right? Because we know who has power in the media in terms of the Black media, right? And it's interesting because you pointing that out, actually, the label of educated lame has been around longer than hip hop. I am not going to judge and say that you are trying to tell me that ads. I'm not going to judge you and say you were trying to tell me that that men aren't a part of this quote unquote anti-intellectualism that exists in the Black community. If you are telling me that, I'm going to need receipts. I have a ton of anecdotes. I won't use any, but also this is not what the research shows, right? So this book is Marriage for White People. I am almost done with it again. I read it before, I'm reading it again. And here we have a ton of research. In fact, the book seems big, right? The book seems really big, except it's not, right? So the acknowledgement starts on this page, and then everything else is research. Literally everything else behind here is citation. And in this book, we get to find that women are more inclined to go to Black women. And women generally, actually, it's not just a trend in the Black community, it's a trend in almost every racial group, that women are actually interested and are investing more in their education. And we're only talking about kind of formal education training. So if we're saying that anti-intellectualism in the Black community is because of women, I mean, I'm going to need citations for that. Like, absolutely not. That's not that is not the truth. That is definitely not the truth. Modern women, what the f? They can't be just women. No, absolutely not. I'm with you, right? Like, these people are. It's very strange to me. Yeah, for anyone who hasn't, I'm not being paid. But even if you want to refute it, because this book was written a while ago, right? Please read the book. It's really good. Like, I know I don't know Professor Banks personally. I've heard him speak once in person, but I do think spoke. I do think it's important that we are, in fact, speaking factually as opposed to emotionally. But let's continue. Oh yeah, by the way, I took it off because it was an ad.
She can only say, you're out of my league. What does she mean by that? She can only say, well, I'm a 10 and you're like a 3. So you're out of my league. And that's, and maybe if that makeup comes off, she's knocked down to a 6, that got to a 3. So, but with the makeup on, you're out of my league. Women never feel that, a guy's out of their league. Everybody is obtainable for them, regardless of what they have. Many times, it's not as much as the guys that they're.
Boss lady. Now you know Osei Jackson got more mouth than a little bit. And he could have his pockets could be overflowing with money. He can keep his ugly self. Now you know
Well,
Osei Jackson got more mouth than a little bit. What?
So y'all breaking on everybody that I watched. I find funny and stupid at the same time.
He's about the ugliest ugly could be.
Oh yeah, I find his ass, so funny.
And then he be talking smack. He got something to say about everything but his ugly ass.
Everybody got
But
something to
then
say
he
about
then he go on
everybody does.
average. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know what average look like. You not let Kevin Samuel ask you, you average. You gonna be like, I'm average. No. You from 1 to 2.
I'm average.
No. No. You're handsome.
what's his name? This guy here.
O'Shea, Duke Jackson. That motherfucker, I like for him to come to Kevin Samuel. What number? You can't use 10 or 9 or 8. You gotta use 6 or 7. He can't even go 6 or 7. He gotta go 1 or 2.
See, I was handsome when I had my hair.
Are you still good, bro? You still good, bro.
All right, tomorrow I'll come back and finish.
Did he used to do reaction videos?
Then get the tape you talking about.
I am very torn.
Wait, you gotta bring me back my thing.
It has to,
You didn't push play, Tony.
I know I'm looking at something. I'm coming, Queen.
Oh, okay. I just heard you talking
Capital.
to the boy.
I want to preface it by saying this. If I can rewind it back, these guys who women are looking down on, and you guys can understand this. When you were in college, when I was in college, studying biology as an undergrad, I got out. I started working before I came back to professional school. You know, women will look at you like, oh, you have a regular job, But what they don't understand is that this man is working on being somebody great. Okay? And see, Alpha Male Strategist talked about this in the Roommates podcast. Just because you're
all right, here we go. So there is a lot of things that is in this portion, right? About women should. Tyler Perry does this too. Tyler Perry chastises women for not sticking by a man in order to help building. Now, I have a lot of concerns about this, particularly the starter wife phenomenon, whereby you stick with someone when they're broke and then they become successful and they leave you for someone they deem to be a higher class or higher, better social status or whatever they want to call it. But so psychologists, I think this might be niche, so we don't have to get into it, but there is this idea about value based on what you're willing to accept, and don't use this as a bar. um, but there is this idea that the person you are with, um, you might feel yourself better than that person if you don't value yourself. So the fact that they're with you when you're poor means that you can get better because you gain wealth. This is a very idiotic way to think about things, but it's also one that is based on your own valuing of yourself. Something went in my eye, I apologize. All right, let's continue because I really want to talk about this here.
broke right now. And if you get married, that don't necessarily mean that in 5 years you're going to be there. You're working on you.
Hey, making Kachava is super
Not another commercial. By the
easy.
way,
I like to do the
separately and more importantly, because you are broke does not mean you're gonna stay broke. This is true. This is definitely true. The question is who is willing to chance it? Like, I don't care about how people structure their relationship. The research does not land in the favor of um, us doing great, right? And get the premium. Period. No, I. You guys are probably going to make me get it if I continue to do this. In any case, um, so I forgot where I was. I almost lost my train of thought because of the premium. But no, I don't believe that you should structure your relation based on anyone's opinion. But I think if we were focused on building men to, like, I don't know, earn more economically, then if you want someone who earn more, I think you should go get that person as opposed to trying to build. And the reason I think that, and this is not advice, don't do this. I think you can structure your relationship how you want, but it's because of the starter wife phenomena, right? I think that if you stick around and you support someone, the stories that we are getting told, the stories that get amplified in the media are those stories about men leaving their women for other women when they become successful. Kanye West had a song about it. Kevin Hart did it. Literally everyone, like every celebrity I know. Now, obviously, there could be relationship issues that we don't know about. But when it follows a very particular kind of trend, with the exception of Sierra and Russell Wilson that I can think of off the top of my head, it goes one way, one color direction. And so it's very, I would be more cautious. But this is not what the video is about for me.
Every day. Women, you're working on you, okay? And you're making all these small incremental gains every day. Women, if they're, most women in our community will have a hard time seeing something like this. The reason is they haven't seen it in a man before. You know, women in our community understand the finished product, okay? They don't understand that, well, he has the potential, he's working towards it. I see these things from him every day. He's getting up, he's going to work, he stays late, he's saving his money. I'm seeing that, you know, he's talking to me about, 30% of his money goes to investment, his money goes to savings. I can see what he does every day. Okay, I have a good idea.
All right. So we're going to step a little bit away from him now and go, because this is where I think the abusive relationship thing comes in, right? He says Black women do not know about how people work towards getting to their goal. They only know the finished product. I don't know which Black woman you're talking about, but statistically, Black women are actually building themselves and are actually dating people you guys call irrelevant now, and quote unquote pookies and ray-rays, right? And Black women actually date down in terms of their economics and their education level, right? So it's really interesting that you're saying that Black women do not know about a work in progress. They only know the finished product. Now, we could reframe the conversation and say, well, in the beginning, he was talking about specifically men who were into stocks and men who were smart and blah, 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 right? And men who had quote unquote potential. I feel this, by the way, is important. I don't like people dating other people for their potential, but it is very interesting to me because even Kevin Samuels espoused the same idea. And I'm going to show you guys where Kevin Samuels said literally the same thing, or pretty much the same thing, in terms of Black women's inability to date someone and build with that person. The problem, literal problem with Kevin Samuels saying this is he literally told a woman that it is like not okay, right? Like it is not okay for her to be dating someone for their potential because an average man might not want to make more, and the woman should be okay with dating men who don't want to make more. And the problem with women is they always want to change men and increase their potential. These things happen. So here's Kevin Samuels, by the way, talking on Vlad for, I'm just going to do this for a couple seconds. And then we go to the video of him telling the direct opposite to someone who called him.
You probably wouldn't look at is the guy you need to be able to have a little bit more vision and say, well, if I get with him now and I stick with him now while I'm building with him now, I can reap all the benefits later. This is the problem. Most women say they want men who are high value, but they don't want to do the work when they're average looking. See, Bill and Melinda got together young.
All right, I'm going to stop him. Y'all got the point there, right? So the point is, his thesis, along with O'Shea's thesis, is that men and women particularly, should be getting with men and building with men. I see no problem with this outside of the starter wife phenomena, which is why I'm saying hypergamy, right? But outside of the starter wife phenomena, I see no problem with this, except this is literally the opposite, the opposite of what he's talking about. This is literally the opposite of the advice he's giving to women. So let me pull up the video of what he said, and I had to search for this because
save money to the
let's turn the speed down. All right, let's do this. So here's what he actually told people, right?
build my business.
Okay. Have you ever lived on your own?
Yes, I did.
All right.
If he had a plan and a
If somebody's making $80,000, you would be okay with the man making half of what you're making.
I would be okay with a man making half of what I'm making if he had a plan and a vision for
See, guys, this is what it always comes down to. I'd accept it as long as he had ambition. See, this always comes down. Listen, no. We know where this goes, man. Something's wrong with your speaker.
Okay.
No. The average black man in this country earns $42,000.
All right, I'm going to stop him there because I don't need to go any further. So when I say that it seems odd to me, right, that you are telling women, both O'Shea Duke Jackson is contradicting himself and Kevin Samuels contradicting himself, right? These women aren't all saying, hey, we want high value men. And maybe some of them are, I don't know, don't care. But the thing is, when you come out and you say,
Y'all can say what y'all want. I like this guy, Themis. I like how he keeps everything logical. And it may seem like he for the woman, but he keeps it logical. How do you like my man Themis, boss lady?
And he stays on point, and he's not biased. I like him.
I like that he sort of kind of speaks for us too. And he see the fuckery with these men. He see the fuckery. And I'm glad that they have to sit up there and warn us because it's crazy. We got to stop and say something. But don't forget to check him out. Themis and Thought. Okay, Mahogany Pink. We got to check her out too. I got to check her out too.
The problem with Black women, particularly because O'Shea Duke Jackson contextualized it for us, the problem with Black women is that, hey, they don't want a man to build with. They want the finished product. They don't understand how to build. Like, I am going to need the receipts because the statistics says completely different things than what you are saying, right? So that's the first thing. The second problem here is that you already know this. You sat there and told a woman that the problem with her is that she's looking for a man with ambition instead of just settling for the man in whatever state he's
They
in.
never come
Now,
with statistics.
It is
Ever,
interesting
never.
to me that these people don't actually see this huge contradiction because you went on a different platform and you were there articulating what it is that quote unquote men do and want and women do and want, while you were telling
Girl, what is you rattling?
women about how they should
this
operate,
bag that's next to me.
contradicting
You'll
your
be all right.
statement about that which you say they are. So look, I don't know. At one point you're saying Black women don't look at men with ambition. They just want the finished product, and that's the problem. On another hand, a woman is literally telling you, hey, I don't mind dating someone who doesn't have all the money and resources yet. I am willing to work with that person to build. And then you're there chastising her for wanting a man with ambition. I literally don't, this makes absolutely no sense to me. This makes absolutely no sense to me. It is gaslighting. It is literally an abusive kind of relationship when you are telling people, and this is why it's impossible for people to like bend and follow these instructions because they're contradictory. You will bending and twist. You will be bending and twisting nonstop if you're trying to meet these standards because just say you want someone who is beautiful and leave it there. Like, don't add these nuances, because one, you get lost in your own nuance, and two, you then go and contradict all of this other stuff that you're adding. Because the problem with Kevin Samuels, right, it seems he wants to win in the conversation, because it's a win-lose conversation, right? He wants to win in the conversation that he's having. So regardless of whatever answer these women give, it's going to be a problem. He needs it to be a problem. The problem with
Exactly.
Jackson, and also why they cover
Exactly.
him a separate reason, is he's just putting out content. Like, he's just putting out content. For me, it doesn't seem like there's much thought in these content, in these videos that we're getting, because at this point, like, how do you not catch your own bias? All right. Your example is out of context. You can come on. You can definitely come on for this quote unquote out of context. Here we go with context. No. Trini boy, here is my link. Please come and contextualize this for me before I move on. I would definitely love this context, because you are asking for context, and we've given context, right? The problem here is you are trying very desperately now to justify this in your mind.
Exactly.
You can come on and we can justify it together, because I have the full videos right here and we can watch it. That lady called in. She said she wanted a high value man. She learned that these men she's dealing with cannot or do not meet her expectations, summarizing, and she wants a high value man. And she was told she's average in the face, and so she needs an average man. She says, okay, I'm fine with dating an average man, when Kevin Samuels asked if he makes 85K and had ambition. And he said very explicitly that that is the problem with you women, right? That is the problem. He is not just talking to her directly, he's making a judgment on women. And he says, this is the problem with you women. You always want ambition and whatever, right? While he then goes on another show and says the problem with Black women, well, women, is that when it comes to dating a man, they tend to, they don't see ambition, right? They just want the finished product, in Jackson's words and Kevin Samuels. So please, I dropped the link. Please come on and contextualize it for everyone, because I'm very solid in what it is that I do, and I didn't just find that clip. The only way I can go through a 2 hour long live and know where exactly that clip is because I watched it. It's because I was invested in trying to understand before I come out and talk. So please come on and help me contextualize it. I don't mind. Alita, actually, with the manosphere, a woman can't win. Kevin moves the goalpost to make a post point. Yeah. So Trini boy, if you are here again, this you please come on. Like that's all I'm saying. Please come on. Thank you so much, Arlita. He doesn't have to put out quality. Black men just want their lives validated. Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's actually sad at this point. And there's a part of me that didn't want to like cover a lot of this, because at this point it's just like, why? Themis want all the smoke. Don't do it, Trini. No, please do it. Oh, he's here. All right. Hey, Trini boy.
Hey, what's going on?
Nada, all right, you said it's out of context. Please contextualize for me.
So the issue with that, and because I watch Kevin Samuels, and I try to be very, not to be too hardline on anything. I listen to what you say. I listen to what everybody says. I don't consider myself a part of the manosphere, but I do listen. I listen to what people have to say. The reason in that particular context, the woman that you brought up, who he said that what's wrong with a man who makes a certain amount of money, It's that particular woman. He said that to. The
Thank
reason being is she was older, she was overweight, and even though she made a certain amount of money, his point that he was trying to tell her was that
That's
a man who
garbage.
made the type of money she wanted
Both of them
would
is garbage.
not
Yeah,
want
put it in back.
her. There has been other women who he has spoken to who were younger, who were more beautiful, who were talking about dating somebody with potential, who he has said, no, don't date somebody with potential. Go get somebody who makes more money. So that's why I'm saying you're out of context, because saying that
No, but
hold on, or his overall thesis for every woman is not the same. He treats every single case differently. So you can't come and say that, oh, this is how he's contradicting himself, because that's this particular case. That's what
so again, I don't know if you didn't hear what I say or what he said, but I'm going to play it back for you again, and I want you to repeat what you said if you want to, because
I'm not. What I want you to do is don't play that snippet. You have to play the whole context of this.
So we're gonna. I'll play more of it, right?
Yeah, play more of it
a little bit, because I think that this is quite interesting that you are taking this position when he specifically say this is the problem with you women. So let's play. Wait, let's play.
Well, I wasn't born here.
Hey, back to the basics, baby.
Western sensibilities.
But what I'm saying is,
all right. Listen. Where do you live?
I live in Atlanta, Georgia. But
You live with your parents?
Yes, I live with my parents.
Why?
To save money to build my business.
Okay. Have you ever lived on your own?
Yes, I did.
All right. So you live with your parents to build your business. So if somebody's making $80,000, you would be okay with the man making half of it.
I would be okay with a man making half of what I'm making if he had a plan and a vision.
See guys, this is what always comes down to. I'd accept it as long as he had ambition. See, this always comes down. Listen, no. We know where this goes now. Something's wrong with your speaker. Okay. No, the average black man in this country earns $42,000. There's no more money. There's no more ambition. There's no money tree. There's no side hustle. That's what the French toast they earn. Half of the men earn that.
I mean,
can you listen and understand that?
I do understand.
Okay, now come back and tell me that he was saying to her specifically that because of her age and her weight that she should not be getting a high value man. Say that again, because it seems to me. Go ahead.
But that's what she wanted, and that's what she was looking for.
That's what she wanted.
But listen,
Stop. That's what she wanted. She came on, and you were right. Like you were right in that she said that's what she wanted earlier. Then he proposed a suggestion and say 85K. Would you be okay with that? And she says, yes, I would be okay with that if he also had ambition. And he goes, that is the problem with you women. Then he says, there is no more money. The average guy in America makes this much, there's no more money. But stop. So you are coming on now and you are telling me that I needed to contextualize this. And why?
Because what he was telling her, as you played, he asked her, what do? You live with your parents, you're building your business, but you want somebody that makes 80K plus or whatever. Yeah. Why can't you settle for somebody, well, I hate to use the word, but that's how women look at it. Why can't you have somebody that's making a regular salary, that's making the average salary? That's not contradictory.
It is contradictory. No. It is contradictory when he literally said women don't want men who are ambitious. They want the finished product. And here we have a literal woman telling her, I don't mind dating someone who doesn't have that money now if they have ambition. You literally used the word ambition, right? You said, you don't want women don't want men with ambition. They want the finished product. Then a woman tells her, I want a man with ambition. And he tells her, that's the problem with you women. Now, you could say he was talking about beautiful women, right? And you could have inferred that somehow. He did not say that. He did not say that in any of these two videos. Now, you can say he said it later on. That too would be a contradiction. And you can point out contradiction and be okay with those contradictions, but the defense of him here does not make any sense. Your defense of him is saying there is an implied beautiful woman in this, and that he did not generalize in his statement, not about only about Black women having the problem of not wanting ambition, but also he's telling this woman and the rest of the world that men don't make more than this, so you should not want ambition. How is this okay?
Because at the end of the day, wanting somebody that makes 80,000 is twice what the median salary of an average man makes. So saying that you want, because remember, if we go
Don't
back to
say that. He
but he said
proposed
80,000
it.
first. He was like 80,000, and she said, yeah, as long as he has that at 80,000. 80,000 is the finished product. 40,000.
No, 80,000 is not the finished product. That is the finished product for you, but that's not here. That's a normative judgment on how much money this woman should want. No. Stop. You're making a normative judgment on what this woman should want. Okay, you did. You were talking about her weight and her looks. That is fine. I'm not going to get into this debate with you about her looks and what.
I'm not talking about the salary cap. If average man.
No, wait, stop. So we talked about that earlier, right? My problem is that he is contradicting himself. And you're telling me that this is not a contradiction, that I have taken it out of context. The thesis he made is that women, we know from O'Shea Duke Jackson that he's talking about Black women, but he says women do not want to work with the man. They want the finished product, right? So he is making a judgment on women, saying that they do not want to work with men. They don't want to build a man up or help the man build. They just want the finished product. All right, we agree on that. Here he's saying, you woman, you want someone with ambition, and that is a problem because there's no more money to be had, right? You are saying to me, those are not conflicting because of the
example that he gave, no, in this particular instance, because he mentioned $80,000. Now, if he had said, if you want somebody that's 40,000, right, and she said, yeah, as long as he has ambition, then okay, your point is made. But he specifically said $80,000, which is double the median salary that most men make. That's a finished product. If double the median salary that most men make is not a finished product,
I know what you're doing, and it's
but that's
it's important that you're doing it, but it's also inapplicable here, right? You're taking the statement of 80,000 as if that is something that she said, right? No, that was a suggestion by him.
But that's how you gotta understand. That's how it's coming. You throw numbers out there and see.
You are contextualizing everything except that. And that's my problem. Like, it's also everyone become a statistician when it comes to pointing out flaws in women. Like, everyone is like, Black women are the least attractive on social media, not you. But no one point out the fact, when we say, where do Black men rank in terms, we don't know. So you definitely went out and looked for that statistic to point out. This is also what I'm talking about here. You can contextualize everything about Kevin Samuels in the positive, but you cannot recognize that in talking about this woman right now, he made the claim that, okay, $80,000 in his mind, probably, right, if we're going to do all the analysis that you're doing, $80,000 is a lot less, obviously, than $100K. And he's saying, okay, what about this? Would you take that? And she's like, yeah, I would. And I would work with him to be more.
Right. And at 80, and that's what you're saying, at 80K though, but 80K is double the amount that the average man makes. That's not a finished product. Like let's just talk based on arguments. We're not talking about statistics.
No, that's what I'm saying. Stop. Because what you're doing is you're arguing against the premise. You're telling me that 80K should be a finished product and is a finished product and blah blah blah. And that is fine. No. That's fine if you believe that. That is not the argument being made, right? If he comes out, if Kevin Samuels comes out and says, hey, all these people that make $80,000, that is a finished product. That is what I'm premising my belief on. Black men should not, and men should not strive to make more than this. And this is where it ends for men. Then Okay, I'm not going to argue with. I'm going to say, oh,
That has been the premise of his whole channel, though.
no, it is not. It is not his premise. He's saying people, high value men out there, and then regular people make this amount of money, right?
Yeah.
The average.
So what is all right? So let's add context to that. What is his definition of a high value?
I'm
you
not
tell
gonna go
us.
into this because he said $10,000 plus some other thing, $100,000 plus some other things.
But exactly. You tell us.
Is where it's at for him.
You tell us.
$1,000 a month, right? Somebody that brings value, somebody that's usable, is linked.
Yeah, no, we're not getting into that. You make your point.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like you can't say, okay, he's contradicting himself when he purposely threw out $80,000. He did that on purpose. You gotta understand. Like if I don't know if your viewers watch his content, but you have to watch his content. He purposely gives facts and numbers to see what a person would say.
He don't show nothing.
100%. Hold on.
He don't show nothing.
100%. If he said,
I'm about to hit the wall at 35, according to certain men. I never got that right, back to basics.
Well, we don't know if people. Well, you're making
that's the difference.
Stop. You keep making normative judgment on his behalf, and this baffles me. Wait,
it's not a normative judgment.
Can you stop? Like, just for a minute. Like, I think we're in debate mode, and because of that, you're arguing to win. I am listening and I'm talking back, but because you keep making normative judgment on Kevin Samuels, like you said just now, he purposely threw out this and purposely didn't say something else. How do you know that?
Because he said that. If you go through his catalog, he said that in a
he did not say that. I watched this entire thing. He did not say that.
Not this particular video, but when you watch his catalog, he said in an interview that he puts out information to see what people would say. That's what he does, stuff like that. That's how he interacts with his viewers. So I am going based on the judgment of his whole entire catalog, including interviews. Even if you look at the Vlad TV interview, he said he'll say certain things and he'll just see how people react, how they do this, how they do that. So I'm not making a normative judgment. He himself has said that in response to certain situations, right? Why would I? Your comments are funny. In response to certain situations, he does what he does, and he says certain things. Now, I understand the point that you're trying to make, and I'm listening to what you're trying. I'm not trying to argue to win or anything like that, but that is, I think that in context of the fact that this is what he's saying and this is what he did, you can't say that he's contradicting himself.
He is. You literally, like, you keep going back to the actual amount, which is interesting to me, and you keep missing the forest for the tree. His problem is that women don't want to date a man with ambition. They want the finished product, right? You are saying 80K is the finished product, correct? The problem is, for these women, 80K is not the finished product, and they do want to date with men with ambition. And he, in response to that woman who says, I don't mind dating someone with $80,000 as long as he has ambition, right? He said, that's the problem. Y'all want ambition. So in that, you want to contextualize it, and that's fine. And a lot of us become linguistic experts in defense of the people that we like, and that's fine. We should do that. People misspeak a lot of the time, so do that. But
I'm sorry.
You're not able, like right now, to sit there and say, okay, that is a contradiction. But in my interpretation, I contextualize it and I'm justifying it this way. So it doesn't seem a contradiction in my mind, but for the random person, an objective viewer can reasonably come to that conclusion, and most people would, that is a reasonable conclusion. When you say these women don't want ambition, and then you tell someone who is seeking ambition or an ambitious person, you are telling them, no, that's the problem with you. That's all you got. There's no more money to go around. It doesn't seem like your message is that Black women should find Black men and build, or women should find men and build with them. Like that, it doesn't seem like that's what you're saying. But Kevin Samuels, the statement he made. Now you're saying you watched all his videos and you understand. So maybe you understand something, and I'll grant you that much. But when we look at these two statements, they are contradictory, regardless of the context in these two videos, right? And he does not specify. Right. He made very general statements about Black women and Black men there. And then he made very general statements contradicting those previous statements on Vlad TV. And we haven't even brought O'Shea Duke Jackson, but you didn't say anything about him, but you didn't even bring that in. So my thing is, you say you're not just a fan, but you said you watch all of his stuff. So I'm not going to make a normative judgment anymore, because you are here to watching my stuff. So it doesn't make sense to me that your argument is normatively about the finished product of a man. Like that kind of that kind of mental gymnastic is real. Like,
but it's not even mental gymnastics though.
Ready?
You know, if you're saying that the average that a person makes is 40 and somebody's making 80, then that's double the amount that's double the average. The finished product in most situations is 40. The finished product that he mentioned.
He sounds so retarded.
The person's response was, "We're not talking about."
We be quiet, Trini boy.
If what the norm is, if what the regular, what the norm of a situation is, and a person is producing double that norm, and your first response, your knee-jerk reaction is, okay, yes, I want double the norm, but the person has to do more. Let's remove statistics. Let's remove Kevin Samuels from it. And this is my point.
Well, before you go, thank you, Pink Pill. Thank you so much. Continue.
You know, my point is this: if we're talking about something, right? Let's say production, and somebody's looking for a producer, and the producer that the norm of a producer, let's say that globe that you have spinning behind you, right? And the globe that you have spinning behind you, company produces it. The norm for companies producing it is 40,000 units, right? And a person is looking for a producer to produce that. And the producer that a person suggests produces double the amount of those 40,000 units. And the knee-jerk reaction of the person who's looking for a producer is, oh, well, yeah, that's cool, but the person would still have to produce more. That's an issue. That's a problem. That's a big problem. When normally the normal producer produced half, that's a problem. And that's what he took issue with. That has nothing to do with statistics. That's a problem in general. Even if you tell me that you're willing to work with the producer to produce even more than 80,000, that at its core is a problem.
All right, so your analogy does not work for a ton of reasons, but I want us to stop for a minute. I don't think I'm going to convince you otherwise, so let's really think about this, right? So if Kevin Samuels, and I want you to answer this for me, if Kevin Samuels just said there's no more money to be made, and you seem to agree, right? At 80,000, you have already made it. What are all these
men? I don't personally. That's why I said I'm not a Kevin Samuels.
No. It's fine. That's fine.
And I don't do
No, that's fine. Wait, stop. What are these men doing trying to create high value men then?
Say it again.
Would that be a contradiction of the manosphere goal to create better men and quote unquote high value and high earning men?
What? I'm sorry.
Your statement now that 80K is it, right? And Kevin Samuel seemed to agree with you then because he just said, there is no more money to be made, verbatim, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that...
He said that to the 40, though. He didn't say that to the 80. And the 80 was just...
He did not say in California.
Huh? Say that again?
Did he just say in California?
No, I didn't say in California. I said that was... He did not say that to the 80. He said it to the 40. There was no more money to be made with the 40,000, the 40K.
No, he said it with the 80. No. We have
it. Yeah. Because he said when he asked him, he was like, the average man makes 40K.
Yeah.
But there's no more money. He's like, there's no more money to be made. He wasn't talking about the 80. He went all the way down to 40.
Wait, let's see. Because actually, if he says 40 and there's no more, that actually really hurts your point. So let's hope for your sake he didn't say 40. If he did, well, I'll explain why.
$1,000. There's no more money. There's no more ambition. We know what it goes now. Some of y'all just think. Average person, the average black man in this country earns $42,000.
Nothing.
There's no more money. There's no more ambition.
No. Yeah. So good. No. Wait. There is no more money to be made. Please. Right. The manosphere is here telling us there's more money to be made. That's the premise of their channel.
Say that again.
The manosphere is here to tell us that we can all be high value, which is definitely not the case, right? And
no, we're not juxtaposing it into the manosphere.
We are. You see, that's the problem. You always, you come on and you say we should contextualize. Let's contextualize.
Are we contextualizing it to a specific situation, or are we contextualizing it to the manosphere as a whole?
To the damn video.
Different types of context.
To the video itself. My God.
And there are different layers of context here, but you did not want
to. I'm asking you, because this is your show, what are we contextualizing it to?
Bye. I said what I said. That part.
Wait, stop.
Bye.
The roommate, their entire platform, right, is about building high value men.
Roommates, okay.
It is about, you don't have to know them. It is
about,
it is about building high value men, right?
Okay.
If there is no more money to be made.
I see you tomorrow. Thank
you. What is the purpose of these channels that are, not just the roommate, but all these channels building high value men?
Okay, so Kevin Samuels said there's no more money to be made. In the situation that he posed to her, he wasn't saying that there's absolutely no more money to be made. But
it's not the finished product. So it is not the finished product.
It's not about finished product. It's if this person makes.
Oh man, shut up already.
Anyway,
shut up for your face.
Hey, stop. You see what you're doing? You're jumping in and out. You're jumping in and out of context, right? So here's the first thing you just said, right? Let's contextualize it. And come on, we're contextualizing it. He tells us right? She says, okay, fine, as long as they have ambition. You came on and you said that is a finished product, right? But then you said, when I asked you specifically, is that a finished product to you? You then said, no, it is not a finished product to me, right? So you're saying that the average woman, right, if she is quote unquote average, right, that her saying that she wanted 80K, a man who makes 80K, and that's fine if he has ambition. You're saying that is not contradictory because why?
I'm saying it's not contradictory, but contradictory in whose part? Because we were talking about the contradictory of Kevin Samuels.
Yes.
So what a woman saying that she wants 80K and wants to work with a person is not contradictory because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but you really kind of lost me. What do
you just said that her wanting a man with ambition at 80K is the finished product. This is what Kevin Samuels said. But while he
said the finished product, but he just posted that as a number that was something that a person would.
No. But you keep saying, oh, let's contextualize it. Kevin Samuels tells men that they should become high value, and this is how you become high value.
Correct. Well,
okay, so no, stop, because Kevin Samuels tells men they should be high value, right? He teaches men sometime, image consultant, but he does tell men to get jobs and get money and whatever and become high value. I've had the debate where people pull up videos of him dragging men to become high value and how to do it, even though there's only a little bit of men, right? So if he we didn't have to go to the roommate, but I wanted to go. No, stop. No, this is a build-up. No, stop. This was a build-up. Kevin Samuels himself, you just said it is a contradiction for someone like Hafiz and the roommate to be telling, but that's not in the context of Kevin Samuels. We're contextualizing Kevin Samuels. So let's contextualize Kevin Samuels. He teaches men to be high value too. So why is he teaching men to be high value when he's telling them, when you are telling me there's no more money?
That's not the premise of his content. He doesn't.
I don't care about the premise of his content.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't label Kevin Samuels as somebody who teaches men to be high value when that's not what he does.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't at all. So that's what I'm saying. You got, if we could.
No. Wait. So are you backtracking now from your first statement that he does?
Of course he is.
I never said that he does.
Of course he is.
Men to be high value. I never said that.
Literally, we just said yes to the question, but let's chalk it up to a mistake. Continue.
Yeah. So.
And he just looking at the video, right? Looking up the video.
No problem. But Kevin Samuels never said that he teaches men to be high value. He did at one point make content that was talking to men about stuff like that. But Kevin Samuels is known for.
See, no, I don't understand you guys. I really don't. Like, I'm just gonna. You do realize the mental gymnastic. You're not on screen, so there should be no embarrassment in saying, "Oh yeah, I get it. I'm wrong," because you just said, You said Kevin Samuels doesn't tell men how to be high value, right? That's not the premise of his channel. I said, yeah, I know. I don't care about the premise of his channel, right? He does. And you said, no, he doesn't. And then you come back and you say, oh yeah, at one point he used to do it, but he doesn't do it anymore. I don't care what he doesn't do anymore. This is what he did. So was he lying then? Is he lying now? Like, there is some contradiction. I don't understand, and I'm frustrated because I don't understand the mental gymnastics happening here.
So let me explain it then, so that we don't have any mental gymnastics. A person, right, can lay down a foundation for this is what a high value man is, right? Those are rules. He said he has his own list of things that this is what constitutes a high value man. Right?
Yeah.
But to teach a person means to tell people, okay, if you want to be a high value man, this is what you do, this is what you do this, you do that. That's not the content that Kevin Samuel makes. He makes content asking women, if you want a high value man, what are you going to do to get a high value man? That is the context, the content that he makes.
All right. So let me just say something. If I say my content is actually about politics, right? And I do some social commentary. Am I not responsible for the commentary that I make on these manosphere people? Am I now not responsible because I am not that creator?
I mean, you're responsible for everything that you said.
Exactly. So why do you think it is important now to point out that that is not the premise of his channel? I don't care about the premise of his channel. This is what they're doing. They are teaching men how to do this. They're teaching women how to do that. And so for me, if your content is didactic in any way, then I am going to want to understand, right? If you are teaching someone something, then I'm going to want to understand. So you saying that this is not his content, you didn't just say that as a random fact in a conversation. You said that to say that he should not be responsible for what he says to men, because that's not what he does.
No. He's responsible for everything that he says to men, and I know he's.
Right. So now we are back in the context, contextualizing. He teaches men how to be high value. He said there's not much money around, and so this is a problem.
Teach men how to be high value. So saying that it's not what he does. I mean,
but he did it once. You just agreed that he did it after a lot of.
Doesn't limiting value to net worth enables gold diggers? There's more to a man than what's in his wallet.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is teaching. It is.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right?
You are telling me stop. No. There is no. Please just accept this right now. Please accept it.
No, if you're gonna let me make my point, then I'll make my point.
No. But
just accept something. If I am telling you, right? If I'm telling you, you need to go buy a car or you need to drive a car, is that teaching you how to drive a car?
If you are telling me
you need to drive a car.
No. If you are telling me, right, how I could go about getting a car,
No, but
what
he's not
the
doing that.
policies is.
He's not doing that. He's telling you need to drive a car. The video that he became famous for, that everybody talks about, him talking to the guy, he doesn't tell the guy what he needs to do. He's like, "Are you fat? And you need to lose weight. Are you this? Are
Yeah,
you do
no,
that?
well,
Are
that's
you
what
do
he,
that?"
yeah, he's teaching.
That's
Okay,
not teaching. That's just telling you what you need to do. He's not teaching the guy how to lose weight. So you can't say that he's
no.
roommates are different. They teach
Sir,
you.
sir.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you about didactic methodology, right? If he says you need to lose weight, you are right. He is not teaching him how to lose weight. If he's saying you need to lose weight if you want to do something else, which is become a high value man, he is teaching them how to become a high value man through losing weight. They can find an expert who can then teach them how to lose weight. But if he's telling you you need to do this to do that, then that is didactic. That is, I am just at a loss.
Me too.
You narrow casted for your observation right now. You narrow casted what it means.
He done got
to
on my
teach
nerves.
in the context of Kevin Samuels telling men to lose weight. You were saying, yeah, he didn't teach them how to lose weight, and yes, that's true. But that's not what the teaching was about. That was the class. The class was about becoming a high value man. Part of what you have to do is lose weight. Now, do you understand that?
No.
I understand what you're saying.
No, you don't.
All right.
No, you
I
don't.
don't believe that it's
He want to get on my
it's
nerves.
pointing out flaws, but
Hang up the
it's
phone.
something that we can agree to disagree on.
Bye.
I'm not gonna
No,
argue.
it's not. No, this is not like it's not something we can agree to disagree on. It's important that we are thinking, and I'm not going to change your mind, right? Like your mind is not going to be changed. But I did all of that because I thought at some point we would get to the build up to the crescendo. But I'm not even going to hammer this home, right? Because I needed you to understand that when you say Kevin Samuels is saying 80K, right? We did all of that mental work just now to point out that 80K for Kevin Samuels is not the end goal. So when you came up here and you said we need to contextualize it and say, for Kevin Samuel, he meant 80K and that was the end goal. That was not true. And if he believed that was true, and if you believe that was true, then why is he telling you to become high value or telling you how to be high value, right? This is important. These things are important when you think about why it is that you are so willing to contextualize everything he does. That's important versus why you will not contextualize everything everyone else does. Right? Like this is cognitive dissonance.
There's no cognitive dissonance in what I'm doing. I'm just
no, it is. Everyone has it.
Conversation with you about something like for example, if there is.
Oh my God, he's still on.
That I don't agree with.
Get off already.
Because you said it more than once. That you can't change my mind. But
so bye.
I came up here with a belief that I'm not open-minded to having a discussion. That's why we're having a discussion. The reality is that you just haven't made any points to allow me to sway my thinking.
No,
because we've just been running back and forth between the context of this and the context of that and this, that, and the other. And my point when I came up here was to simply tell you that in that particular situation, that is the example that he used. That's the number that he used. But if we're going to go
no. See,
Kevin Samuel as a whole,
I am not. Stop.
I'm trying to be respectful to you. You keep.
Let me explain something. Please don't talk over me. When you say, oh, you come up here and you came up here and the content creator, I am trying to contextualize this and I'm trying to contextualize that. It is important for you to remember that you were the one who came up trying to contextualize something.
Correct.
Yes. And now you have a problem. Wait. And now you have a problem with me further contextualizing. So now how does that make sense to you?
I don't have a problem with you further contextualizing.
No, you didn't.
I don't have a problem with you further contextualizing. I have no problem with it. It's just that, again, your contextual, because anybody could contextualize anything, but if your contextualization is out of context or your contextualization is incorrect, then yeah, I'm going to have a problem with it. You're operating from the point, and I have respect for your show because I know you're a black man and you're a creator, and I like that. I like to see black men creating content. But at the end of the day, the reality is that you expect that however you contextualize it is the way that it is.
No. I am
That's
not.
the point of reference that you're moving from.
Stop. Wait. I
So,
don't mind if
I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and it's like,
what is it like?
you don't let me finish my points, and then you take wildly out of context. Now I understand that you have a certain audience that you're trying to reach, or you have people that appreciate what you do and whatever. But the reality is, if we're going to take context into the situation, then let's take the whole context of what Kevin Samuels is as a content creator. If we're going to do that, then that's fine. If we're not going to do that, and we're going to take the context of that particular episode where he was talking to that woman, then let's do that. But let's not jump in and out of context. That's what I want to establish. Let's not jump from this individual. That person.
If you keep saying I interrupt you, and I do interrupt because you keep going off in a way that is not germane to the conversation at hand. And the thing that I want to do is, let's start over, right? Let's start over. Please jump in when I'm wrong about a position. Wait, no. Jump in when I'm wrong and stop me, and then I'll stop, right? I have a good enough memory to do this, right? Kevin Samuels says, this black women, right? Women don't want men with ambition. They want the finished product, right?
Right.
But he didn't say finished product. They don't want to work with men, right? All right. O'Shea Duke Jackson said they want the finished product. All right. Kevin Samuels on his show says to this woman, hey, you want 100K. Would you settle for a man who makes 80K? She says, yeah, I would date a man with 80K and if he has ambition. He goes, that's the problem. Y'all always want men with ambition. There's no more money to be made. All right, let's not contextualize that. Let's look on that at face value. Do you see a contradiction there?
No.
Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
At face value, do you see a contradiction there?
Of course not.
No contextualizing.
He ain't going against the Godfather.
This should be an easy yes.
Yeah, there is somewhat of a contradiction.
All right. And so you contextualized it, right? You're saying, okay, but what he means by that is that 80K means that there is nowhere else to go for in a man, right?
Well, I wasn't saying that there was nowhere else to go.
But
I was saying, no context, but what I'm saying is, he said that, she said, all right, so he said, based on what you said, he said it's 80K. He threw out the number 80K. She said, okay, if 80K, if I'm willing to work with, and I'm willing to work with him if he, to do more or whatever. He said, but 40, that's the problem because 40K is the median. 40K being the median is half of 80K. Yeah, okay, Josh angles, that's fine. So 40K, he said 40K is the median and there's no more money to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you make?
This. If we take that as face value, that conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds.
He putting me to sleep for real.
I'll admit that, but can I say one thing?
You making my job hard.
All right. If we go back to what he's asked her before, he was like, "What do you do?" And she said, "I live at home."
You making my job.
I live at home, and I'm saving money to work on.
I almost fell asleep.
That's what I'm talking about. What the fuck?
Adds a certain level of
shit, man. You wrong. You wrong. That's it.
And, but go ahead, make it.
Shit.
No. I just asked you the question. What are you saying about 80K?
Ain't nothing happening in them bingo streets.
Explicitly.
Well, 80K, it's double the median.
How
No,
much
no,
you
no, no.
make,
So you said earlier that there's
sir?
no more money. People have made it. That's what Kevin Samuel is saying.
A finished product. Yeah, he presented 80K. He presented 80K and that particular situation as a finished product. He
No,
presented
no,
80K as a finished product.
no.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he. Yeah, that's what he did.
Right.
Are you no? In your opinion of Kevin Samuels, you're saying that Kevin Samuels means that men can't make 80K is a
No,
finished product
no,
for men.
no. He wasn't saying that men in general. He was talking to that specific person in that specific
That's what he
situation.
said
The
from
80K
the
was the
jump,
number that he
dumbass.
No, but you pointed out that he went and said, "Oh, there's 50K. The average income is
the
40K,
average is 40,
yeah,
and there's more money to be made for the 40.
and there's no more money to be made." Wait, and there's no. It's interesting because you pointed that out. I don't know if you knew how badly that hurt your point, but when he said that, he's speaking now generally about income in the United States.
Right.
So what he said was, what are you saying in terms of 80K? Like, why do you think 80K is why do you think Kevin Samuels think 80K is a finished product?
I don't think he thinks 80K is a finished product.
Wait, that's what you said though.
No, what I said
Okay,
is that
so if 80K is not the finished product, all right. So we agree now that 80K is not the finished product. Kevin Samuels didn't say 80K is a finished product. Got it. You're on the same page, right? So if the woman says, yes, with 80K and ambition, that's
People
fine with me.
in limiting
and then he
mindset.
says, that's the problem. You all want ambition, there's no more money to be made. And they want the finished product. We just admit that 80K is not the finished product, and there's more. So isn't that a contradiction?
In that particular situation, no. Is it a general contradiction? Yes, I'll agree that. If we're taking it as a
that's
general,
what I mean. It is a contradiction.
But then the minutia of it is
now what?
To a particular person, because here's the thing.
By the way, yeah, someone said 80. Sorry, someone said 80K is good. I am not making a normative judgment on how much money people make.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not doing that. But the thing about it is, we can't. So he's speaking to a particular person. Now, the reason where I would agree with you, and this is where we would agree, if Kevin Samuels was, you know how, I don't know if you watch any of his episodes, but there's episodes where he just talks to the camera. If he was talking to the camera and he said, hey, 40K is thing, and there's no more money to be made, and that's it, then I would have no disagreement with what you're saying, because he would be making out, but he wasn't talking to.
All right, I got to skip him. God damn.
So you interpreted
Jesus.
what Kevin Samuel said in this to mean that.
So you admit that you don't watch much of the content, right?
I watch a lot of the content, actually.
Okay, that's different from what I've heard in the past.
Wait, no, I've never said I don't watch a lot of. There are people in the manosphere that I don't know, as like there are people just generally on YouTube that I don't know. But go ahead.
Well, so when it comes to O'Shea, for example, if you've watched a decent amount of O'Shea, you'd know that you'd know his passion for the diaspora and the continent, and that he has a.
Stop. I'm gonna stop you there and say, I've heard O'Shea talk about how much he loves Black people. The way he treats Black women, particularly in his thumbnail, in his community tab, and then in his content, I would actually not agree with his statement that he loves Black people. I would say he loves Black men. Continue.
So I'm glad that you brought that up again. So are you saying he doesn't do the same type of thumbnails?
Yes, a Kitten Hills fanboy.
Black men?
Kitten
I
Hills.
can tell you with 100, I could put money on that. He does the same. He criticizes himself. Like I was on his channel roasting him. You know, he used to have this roast me session.
Yeah,
so,
no. He does roast himself. I accept that. When it comes to roasting, like literally a woman came out and said, Chris Brown hit her,
McDaniel.
and he was like
I want an
talking
apple pie.
about it in a way that made Chris Brown out to
Wait.
be the victim because people know his past, and so they believe him when he didn't hit her. And he said verbatim they did that he didn't hit her, as opposed to it's more than likely that he didn't hit her. So anyway, continue. I don't agree with your estimation on him, but continue.
Right. So you don't like the content, and you don't like you don't like the. It's okay to not like the content, but I'm saying how you're characterizing it as he hates black women. That's completely.
I never said he hates black women. I said he said he loves black people, and I said I would rephrase that to saying he loves black men.
Okay, so maybe I'm doing some mathematics there and drawing conclusions that maybe you're not saying. Maybe you're saying he's indifferent.
I wouldn't say he hates black women, particularly because I watched a video where he said the what Cynthia G did when he brought that white man on to disparage black men, that he didn't think that was okay because he wouldn't have done that to black women. So make a sort of reference point at a video from me about him, but I have never said that he hates black women, and I did not mean when I removed black women from him liking black community that he hated black women. I did not mean that.
And that's fair. I think maybe what I'm doing is imposing certain comments I'm hearing on you, and I apologize for that. Because I don't think it's fair to say that the black manosphere hates black women. They have grievances, and that's their place for doing their grievances. Women have their grievances, and they have their place for doing their grievances. And but I will say this:
Give me two of them with a Sunday.
Toxicity, I think it's dangerous to play this game where black women are sanctimonious in some ways, because we all have our issues and we're all a work in progress. And I'm not trying to gaslight. I'm just
no. I don't think you're wrong on this. I think the black community, including black women and black men, have a ton of issues that we need to fix. Right. I think though, black men particularly do not have the right, in my opinion. This is a judgment that you can hold me on and drag me on. I don't think black men has the right to drag black women, particularly to drag black women publicly about education and about economics when the wage gap is super close, right? 95 to 100, closer than any other community. Black women are graduating at a higher rate than black men. They are getting employed at a higher rate than black men. They're in the law and medicine at a higher rate than black men. I think that we as men need to focus on us and developing us first, because it doesn't make sense to be attacking the people doing great in our community. And there are black men doing amazing.
I have one issue with that.
Go ahead.
While I agree with you, I do also think that we're both culpable, black women as well, because like, and this is where I think the manosphere became a thing, because black women have dragged black men for forever. So as long as I've been in this country, it's always men ain't, I don't want to curse on the platform, but men ain't ish, and men don't do this, and men don't do that, and black men ain't this, and black men ain't that, and that's the whole reason why we are and that's the reason why I came on your show, because I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, as a black man, you don't want that, but it's this adversarial nature. So you're saying that, oh well, black women are doing this and they're doing that and they're making, but at the end of the day, black women benefit more from this system that we have than black men do. And women are not gonna like to hear that, but the reality is I work in HR, I've worked in HR, and a company would rather hire a black woman than a black man, even if they're both equally educated, because, and there's studies that prove it, because when you hire a black woman, you check off two boxes. You hire a woman and you hire somebody that's black. So
okay, that is a
you know what
white
I mean?
supremacist. No, that is a white supremacist talking point if I've ever heard any.
Yes.
But no, it's not true either.
It's,
For
how is it
companies,
not true?
no, for companies that do want to make this visual kind of appeal to diversity, sure, right? Actually, white women benefit the most from these diversity programs, but we're not going to get into that. Your point, though, that Black women benefit more from the system is not true. And it is not true. There are things changing now, particularly because of the Me Too movement, but we can talk about how that only affects white women disproportionately in the most positive way. But when we talk about the system, you would have to believe that we live in a matriarchy in order to also believe that women um, out earn and not out earn, but do better than men, right? The wage gap still exists. Um, Black women, for all the strive that they make, still make less than Black men. That probably will change in the next 10 years in this generation. And Black men are so
But you
Black
just
men, the thing that Black men like the most is the thing that actually hurts them. And by that I mean what I've heard from some people in the manosphere about them being appealing sexually. The one part of that is bad, a lot of it is bad, but that's really bad is when it comes to the criminal justice system. Black men have taken hold of this masculine, in the most overt sense of the word, characteristic. And in so doing, they are actually diminishing their image. Now, if you're talking about the criminal justice system, I would agree with you that Black men feel worse in terms of outcome when it comes to the criminal justice system.
right. But also, but let's move away from that. How many shelters for women are there that who experience abuse, physical abuse?
There's a lot of shelters for women who experience physical abuse.
How many shelters are there for men?
Don't do it. Don't do it. I think you should withdraw that statement.
How many? How many?
I
You
think
know,
you should.
how many shelters are there for men who experience physical abuse?
Not a lot.
There's one.
Not a
Absolutely
lot.
one. No, there's not a lot. There's one.
No, there's more than one.
Literally
I know two in DC. But now you hear this. I told you to withdraw that comment because I didn't want to go there, because I don't want this to turn into a Black man or man bashing issue.
But yeah, that's the thing, and that's the
No. But you did. You did bring it up, and I told you to withdraw it, and you didn't. So now we are here.
Right.
Who are abusing whom?
Both parties are abusing each other, and
No.
that's the thing.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just because it's registered doesn't mean it
These
doesn't
are
happen.
statistics. Please. This is not a matter of opinion. When it comes to abuse, not only are Black women disproportionately affected, right, and are abused, they are also the least likely to turn in their abusers. So when we talk about why there are more shelters for Black women for abuse, the reason they are is because men are abusing these women. Now, I'm not saying men don't get abused. I literally read a chapter in this that talked about the woman spitting on the man and throwing hot water on him. So I do recognize that that happens, but let's be clear. And
ain't never no receipts.
I did family law as a course, and we talked about like the divorce and the no-fault divorce and why that was so important for women to leave abusive relationships. Let me explain to you this. If you learn nothing else from this live, know this. Black women deal with a ton of trauma from abuse at a rate that no other woman in the history of America faces. So let's be clear about that. No. You're not arguing that. I'm bringing it up because you asked why there were so many abuse centers for women and not enough for men. And this is not about you. I'm going to use your point to jump off to a broader point about the manosphere, and then we'll get back to Dean. Because Dean is criticizing me for the manosphere, and I think some of what he hasn't really criticized me yet. I've admitted to where I'm wrong, and we're fine. So I'm here for all of it. The thing is, one of the problem with some people, Dean, in the manosphere is this need to be perpetual victims, right? And it's not victim to the wide patriarchy, it's not victims to the wide system, it's not victim to the criminal justice system, which we should be talking about, right? It is victims of Black women. And this is ridiculous to me that at the same time we're talking about alphas and leaders, these people are wanting to be coddled in this way. Now, if you really want to know my ideas on this, it is simply, I do
Which
think
is
that
true,
the
Black.
rigid gender roles that we
Simone,
have,
yeah.
and we are trying to reinforce on men, keep them in a box that does not allow them to fully express their humanness, their personhood. And so I think men should complain. I think men should feel. I think fathers on Father's Day should get that teddy bear and get that flowers and whatever else they want. I think it is important that men are able to experience a full range of emotions, right? But at the same time that these men are telling us that they're alphas and they're this and men are this and tap into your divine masculine and all that, they're still telling us that they want to be all these things too.
No, there's no money in that.
Emotion, but they also want women to be subservient to them. And if you are willing to disrupt the gender roles, which I know a lot of people aren't because it works in their benefit, particularly men, it does harm them too.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that gender roles work more to the benefit of men than women?
I think the gender role society, yes.
So.
Yeah, no, yeah, I do think so. The men created these one create, like the American, as Kevin Samuels would say, men created this. I think he should have said white men created these systems in America, because I promise you, and this is the conversation that I did not want to get into, right? But let's do it. These colonial kind of phraseologies where people are like, oh, men created this, and these systems and business were created by men.
I always say that.
We acknowledge the discriminatory nature of these businesses. We acknowledge how bad they are for Black men. We talk about these things, and they are true. And yet you stake claim to these systems in place saying, we built this, putting yourself in alignment with the men that you say are abusing you or marginalizing you. Like, why would you do that? I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not, you're right. It's not really something this is not what I got on here for, but my view on it is this.
That's my Christmas. She gotta do that for
If you're in a system, and yes, the system may be marginalizing or I'm gonna address that. But the comment, the plastic yaya, I'm gonna address it in 1 second. But what option does a person have if this is the system that they're in? You know what I mean? Like, if you're at the bottom of a system, an economic system, you have to figure out a way to make it to that system to have enough economic clout, and I'm just using the words loosely. Economic clout to be able to create your own system. System cannot create it on So, you know, based on what you just said, in response to what you just said, you know, yeah, you could complain about the system. You can complain about the particular system, but at the same time, as a Black man, you have to figure out and navigate your way through that system so you have enough money, power, and influence as a community to be able to change the system. So that's why people are stuck in the system, but they complain about it. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, I am with you. By the way, before you go, I need to respond to that. The classic Black women speaking on the reality of the Black man in their life is not degrading to the community. It is the truth and reality. So if that is our
yeah, but that's so in response to that, my thing.
Wait, no. Please don't respond to that, because I wanted to touch on something you say that is really important, and I agree. I do think we need to make strides, and we have to develop in the system in order to go against the system. I think it's super important. But why then are we bashing women, and you didn't do this, for wanting men to be more and do more? And why do we bash women who are doing more? That's not a question for you to answer. It's a rhetorical
I
question.
can give my opinion on it, but
Don't close
No,
and
no,
stuff.
but I think that it's super important that we are uplifting each other, right? And I don't think that is happening. But I want Dean to continue because I always say critique me. So I am looking for these critiques. By the way, Erica is here. Thank you for being here. Go ahead, Dean.
Well, I didn't want to. This is kind of. I feel bad coming in to continue talking now because I don't agree with playing the victim Olympics type of game,
Oh, good, good.
and it's like super triggering. So like any commentary that I might have in support of the Black Manosphere, that would probably be overshadowed by what was previously discussed. Um, so
I think this might be because we disagree on a lot, apparently, Dean. But I think this might be probably why we connect well because we have. I think for me, this is a fundamental thing, and I think we connect here. Is
so
that fair to say? Wait. Is that fair to?
I would say so. You talk when you say connect here on what was just previously discussed.
Yeah, on Victor.
100%. And believe it or not, this is what I was trying to. This is the criticism I had. That people are individuals, and just because there's one segment of someone saying one thing, like I wouldn't necessarily classify your channel as a divestment channel
No,
because I was here. I've been on your channel when you were analyzing Justin Timberlake and Brandon Tatum and et cetera, et cetera. But if you're to just look at a window of time for the last month, someone would say, "Oh, this is a divestment channel." But that's not fair, So that was my criticism. But back to what you said, we are in alignment on the Victim Olympics thing. That's just, I don't know. I can't. I've got nothing to say.
I have a question about that.
Go ahead.
What is Victim Olympics? I'm not really familiar with the term.
I wish he shut up already. Go home.
I am more.
Go home, Roger.
And this is why I'm more victimized than you.
To go back to what we were talking about earlier, though, and not the victim thing, but I, the the problem I have is that like you make the point about bashing black women and stuff like that, right? And I don't believe in bashing black women. I don't believe in bashing anybody. The issue that I have though is that now that you have people in the manosphere that are coming out and saying controversial stuff about women, it's an issue. But you have people who have been in the womanosphere, for want of a better term, who have been bashing black men and been bashing men in general for years, and it's never been an issue. Women have never come down and said, well, you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't say that because that's not true. I have a husband, I have a this. He's not like that. So, and I think that's the triggering thing. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it's a little triggering because it's like Kevin Samuel comes out and all the women have an issue with what he says and how he speaks and this, that, and the other. And I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he says, or do I agree with his delivery or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not really like a fan. Like I said, I listen to everybody. But where are the same people when you have people like Shira Seven talking about using men and getting what you want from a man and how to get a man to spend all this money on you even though you don't like him, and where are all the women checking those people? Because the thing that I've heard since I've been in this country is, oh, if you have a friend as a black man, if you know that your boy is an abuser, then you need to check your boy. If you know your boy does this, then you need to check it. So my thing is, and I think the premise is, and the reason why it's such a divide is that black men now, especially with social media and being able to connect, we're turning around and saying, well, why you don't check your girl? You know your girl don't like this guy, and you know your girl is using this guy for his money and his resources, but she don't care about him. Why you don't check her? But they don't.
So let me concede that there are. Someone told me I didn't see this. That someone said black men are bullet bags, and that statement by someone on the chat a time ago shook me to my core. That someone would actually say that. So let's say that these are the large voices in the womanosphere. Let's say that, and men are now reacting. Do you think it is appropriate? And I'm not making a judgment with what you say on this. Do you think it is appropriate that men who are supposed to be the leaders in the Black community, if we're supposed to take them at their word, do you think it's right for them to be talking publicly about women not be bashing women in reaction to that?
On a binary level, I would say no. But on a human level, I would say you cannot police a person's reaction to your actions. Meaning, you can't smack somebody in the face and tell them, oh no, you can't pull out a gun and shoot me. You must smack me back in the face. And that's, I think, is the issue. We cannot, as a community, allow women to say whatever they want about Black men and then turn around and when Black men respond, because it's male nature to respond not in equal kind, but in above and beyond, in excessive kind. That's how we respond. So you can't now turn around and be mad that men are responding.
That people have their own outlets to express their grievances. Where it becomes dangerous is where we're reinforcing certain toxic behaviors. And I think to just, when people make these broad brushes that the Black manosphere is toxic, well, you're using certain examples, and I could easily do the same thing by saying, go to Divested Zealot, go to Lexus Exodus, go to Crystal Swirls, and you'll get the same thing. So, I'm just trying to be even Stevens about it, and just say, it's natural. Men have always had barbershops, so this is like the internet barbershop that just grew exponentially thanks to COVID. But to the divestors, please divest. You have my blessing. Like, nobody is, it gets irritating when they kind of get into spaces and they just kind of overtake certain things, and that could kind of be frustrating because then the people who want, it's just, anyway. I got my own opinion on that, but love the stream, Themis. Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you. And I don't mind dissent. I think you are correct that there are good people in the manosphere. I need to watch more and review more of their content. But I also don't want it to be solely manosphere. I also do agree that if someone is saying Black men are, I just said it, bullet bags, they should be talked about too. Like, that's not okay. I don't know who said it. I still haven't looked up who said it because I don't care. I think the statement is wrong, and I will continue to say it's wrong, and I don't care who said it. So thank you. Also, thank you, LB. All right, Trini Boy, your last words. But
I appreciate you having me on. The reason why I came on is because I wanted to have a dialogue. You know what I mean? Like, I think that a dialogue needs to be had. I don't see a solution. I see things getting worse before it gets better. And I don't like it. I don't like the way that our community is going. Even though you have a lot more people becoming educated and stuff like that. It's just
who gets attention and who grew up getting attention from Black.
You are right.
Yes.
From a struggle bandit who wants to get up here and give advice to Black women on how to be marriage material and what they're doing wrong and why they don't have rings on their fingers. Now listen, I've already told Black women that your worship of Black men has created the devil. You have turned them into arrogant, bordering on narcissistic, psychopathic air mattress mandingos who despite having the lowest marriage rate and the highest divorce rate, regardless to the race of woman that they're with, they still believe that they can sit up here and put up these videos, obviously directed towards Black women, because nobody else is going to listen to the least desired men on the face of the planet, instructing Black women on what they need to do in order to be marriage material, ignoring the fact that Black women don't even benefit from marrying Black men. Black men are the least marriage material on the face of the planet. However, this isn't anything that Black men have to hear from Black women. And if it were, they wouldn't be emboldened to sit up here and be these pop-up dating coach gurus, despite the fact that
Tony, does it go up any?
we have nothing at all. Look, the consequences of you worshiping derelict struggle bandits who have nothing to offer is this right here. And I want Black women to understand this. Understand that there is no coincidence between Black women coming into an awakening, some of us, and realizing who Black men are, and Black men coming out with this whole dating talk on modern women and high value men, and this is what you need to do to get a ring. And I'm going to explain to you guys the connection between these two things and why this is happening. But I want Black women to understand that Black men's attitudes, their hyped up aggression, the fact that they're boldly displaying their disrespect towards us, that is the consequence that we have for this Black man worship. And unfortunately, there's too many Black women who still think that they need to worship Black men into changing, and he'll change right into that demon that you was afraid of was going to pop out your closet when you was a child. That demon looks like the Black man that you worshiping. This is the consequences that we get for our behaviors. We're living in it. This is our karma. Because you should have never worshiped these men. You should have never told them they were kings. You should have never spoke life into them when they weren't producing. You should have regarded them as the useless, expendable males. And we didn't. And now we have a ton of struggle bandits who want to pop up on social media platforms and give
Miss Keefus. Miss Keefus. Boss lady.
Why you cut her off?
Not just boss her, because I'm thinking about what she said. We keep calling them kings and stuff. And you know, every man we call a king in here, where they at? You understand what she just made me think about that. We calling them kings and stuff, and every time we call the man a king, where all our kings at? Right? I ain't hear you, boss lady.
Suge, where you at, girl?
You ain't hear what I said? You can't hear me? Boss lady.
marriage advice.
Well, I'm not calling nobody no more men kings up in here. How about that? No more calling men kings up in here until they earn their crown. That's it. So I don't know if y'all hear me or not, but that's that. No more young king, old king, middle king, whatever king. We give you a title, and then what you do? Leave. She's 100% correct. Now let's go.
Despite not even being marriage material. All statistical data says that Black men are not good mates for any woman regardless to race. We know they sit up here and talk about how they're so desirable. We know they sit up here and talk about how many options they have. So the question here is that we're going to get to, and we're going to answer and address, if Black men are so desirable to all other groups of women and have more options than these masculine Black women who won't cooperate or submit and who have non-agreeable, arrogant attitudes, why do Black men spend so much time and energy focusing on manipulating these very same Black women into accepting nothing from them, being a doormat, and wanting to be with the least desired male group on the face of the planet? Why? Why, if black men can go be with all of these other groups of women, why do they sit up here and keep focusing these messages towards black women? Because understand they can conceal what they're saying by addressing the modern woman, but when they say modern woman, they're talking about black women. They're talking about black women who aren't going to worship them, black women who really see that they have options in other groups of men, black women who see that black men aren't doing anything and that we're carrying the community and we don't want to deal with these struggle bandits anymore. That's who black men are addressing, because they already know they're not the most desired man on the face of the planet. They don't have options in other groups of women. The only women who care about listening to what they say is black women. So they're not addressing their preferences with these videos. They're not addressing feisty Latinas or Marias or Ling Lings or Beckys. They're addressing you as black women. And they're not addressing the black male worshiping black women, because they already know that those masculine women, the truly masculine women, are not the ones that they want. They don't want these women who are going to follow behind their nutsack sniffing the dust off of it. They want the black women like me, who don't care anything about them, who's not going to call them a king when they have no kingdom. These are the black women that they're talking about. And we know that because these are the black women who are not falling for their bullshit. So they're not addressing this towards these undesirable masculine black male worshiping females. They're not addressing their preferences. They're addressing us, the ones who are saying we're not tolerating black men's nothingness anymore. That is why you see all of these pop-up dating gurus, not so that they can get these women who run around talking about, oh, we just need to submit to him and speak life to him. If they wanted those women, they would go marry them, but they're not doing it. Those women are easy to get. They're readily available. They've already laid themselves down at the sacrifice at the altar of black male worship. So those aren't the women that they're talking about. But we're going to get into who they're talking about.
That's right, girl.
Into this discussion, but I want to show you these videos first, and I want to show you some comments as well. These videos are from a black man who claims to have a psychology degree. I actually question whether he has one, but even if he does have one, it doesn't matter, because a psychology degree isn't going to make a black man come into the realization of his reprobate, depraved mentality. But what I will tell you, though, is that based on his content, I find it very questionable whether he actually has a psychology degree. You have all of these black men sitting up here talking about they have these degrees and they're so qualified to speak on what women want. But if you knew what women want, would you be sitting up in a video complaining that you can't get submission out of a woman? So I'm going to let you look at these videos. I'm going to let you look at the comments. Then we're going to come back and talk about this whole pathology of the least desired men on the face of the planet, the biggest failures at marriage, dating, and all people activity, sitting up giving advice to black women on how to become desirable. Look at these videos, and then I'll come back for further commentary.
So I've said this before, but I guess I need to say it again. No, I don't believe in submitting to a man. Can you imagine? And why, you ask? So check this out. Number one, I don't submit because I'm not submissive. Number two, I have never met a man that I felt was superior to me. So why would I submit? 3, it is not the way of my ancestors. I am a traditionalist, and traditionally we were not patriarchal, and we did not submit to the man. And 4th, and most importantly, I literally gave you life. Why would I submit to you? Make it make sense, and it just don't. Not now, not tomorrow, not never. Okay? I hope that clears it up for you.
7 reasons 50% of today's modern women are single. Unrealistic expectations. Believing relationships should be perfect, expecting men to behave like women, and believing in concepts such as soulmates to one and unconditional love. Unreasonable standards. Refusing to date men who fall within the average distribution on the distribution curve, while solely desiring men who are on the tail end, whether in status, income, height, whatever. Too combative. Perceiving men as the enemy and always feeling the need to be right. No accountability. Refusing to introspect, accept, and acknowledge the role they play in their dating failures, and an unwillingness to change pernicious habits. Ignorant of male desires, not knowing what men say they want and disregarding what men tell them they want. Perceived submission as negative, understanding that women are the beta sex and that relationships are a team and require roles and order. underestimates the power of femininity, which men are naturally attracted to and want. Value their income and educational attainment, two things men do not primarily care about. Poor assessment and mate selectivity, being unable to select and identify men with the values that are conducive to a healthy relationship. This woman foolishly says black men are the only men who complain about black women not being married when they're the ones not proposing marriage to us. Well, first off, I have to say nobody's complaining. Second of all, how many marriage proposals do you expect a group of women who have consistently proven themselves to be intolerable, insufferable, combative, masculine, unsubmissive, stubborn, know-it-alls, who create drama and conflict just for the sake of creating drama and conflict? How many marriage proposals do you expect them to get? Let's take it a step further. The ones who are actually married. We have the highest rate of divorce, and black women initiate 80% of those divorces. We also see black men propose to black women, and black women turn them down. Lastly, it's a black woman's job to pick the most suitable mate for her. You know who y'all tend to curve? The black men of competence, of value, smart ones with degrees, suitable jobs. You know who you curve them for? Thugs, street guys, felons, men raised by single mothers. Y'all pick the worst type of men and then complain. Most modern Western women believe that they deserve a high-earning man and desire a high-earning man. So I constructed this wife potential assessment tool so that women could get a more objective understanding of what men they actually qualify for. Ladies, if you look to the right, you will see 13 significant factors that have been scientifically proven to optimize or minimize your desirability. These factors are your face, age, height, weight, waist to hip ratio, number of kids, family priorities, number of sexual partners, and your personality traits: neuroticism, agreeableness, openness, extroversion, conscientiousness. Each possesses a star value that you will evaluate based on which criteria you fit. You will then add your stars across the 13 categories and divide them by 13, giving you your average star value. Your star value corresponds to your wifey potential and ultimately your sexual market value. Star values are in parentheses and ranked on most desired to least desired. If you look above me, you will see the categories of men. The Power 12 earners, 100K plus men, the average earning conference, the 40 to 90K earning men.
Oh my goodness, they are crazy.
You will also see which star value qualifies you for which category of men.
He made me sad for him.
Huh?
He made me sad for him.
My man got a list. Oh my God. What is Kitten Hills is going on here? They'll pick on women, but I guarantee you, they ain't gonna pick on them little gangster boys. And I'm gonna say, hey, little boy, get out the street and don't be a thug. They are not gonna deal with them, but they wanna pick on women all damn day.
videos and listen, I would pull the right up out of this dude. I can look at his overly glossed lips, the fact that in his pictures he's putting filters on them. I can look at his energy and how he's desperate for black women's attention because at the end of the day, based on everything that he's saying about these so-called modern women that we already know are black, because you can look in the comment section and see that the only people who are responding are black men. The fact that he's doing all this tells me he has a lot of insecurities, he's not self-assured, and he needs a woman to feel as though she's beneath him in order for him to feel like a man. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. In one of these videos, he said that these modern women are unwilling to understand that women are the beta sex. Now, if women are the beta sex, then black men are the ones who are running around saying they can't get these beta sex women to cooperate with them, submit to them, and be agreeable to them, then what does that say about the type of men that black men are? And see, this is why I question whether he has a psychology degree, and if he did it with the C average, because his understanding of male and female psychology is simply not there. Women submit to men who present themselves as alpha males. It's just that simple. If you want a woman to believe that she's the beta sex, then you would do that by showing her and exuding masculinity so that you don't have to worry about sitting in a video complaining that women who are the beta sex.
Thank you, my Chrissy Poo.
What it says about black men as men is that they're beneath the women that they're calling betas. So you can say women are the beta sex, okay, that's fine. You can't get these women to submit to you. So we know that you're absolutely not an alpha male. We know that you are not qualified to talk about what alpha males want or high value males want because you're not one of them. And see, you can tell who these black men are in their pathologies based on what it is that they're saying. And I'm telling you guys, based on what this man is saying, is that he's struggling. He can't get the woman that he wants. And so his way of compensating for that, as well as the kitten and heels and the fresh and fits and all of these other struggle bandits who is using YouTube as a means of trying to compete against black women's options. Because look, if they really didn't think that you had options, would they be sitting here giving you a list of how you need to qualify to be with them? This is the way that black men compete. They're not going to compete for wealth. They're not going to compete with resources. They're not going to compete by dominating other men and showing themselves to be the true alpha males. They're going to compete with black women's options and the fact that black women are saying they're divesting by manipulating you, by talking about, well, you want that ring. Because in the other video, you saw him with these disclaimers talking about how this woman don't have a ring on her finger. What leverage does the kitten in heels with his 2 failed marriages sit up there and use against black women? The fact that you place so much value on marriage. That's why they're saying, oh, these women are unmarried. Oh, what do you need to do to become marriage material? Why a man won't propose to you? I guarantee you, men like this, as you already know because you watch my channel, will never come over here and have a conversation because I'll see right through the bullshit, and you're not going to sit here with this narrative telling me about women being unmarried when you are the male group who is the least desired for marriage on the face of the planet. This is what black women have allowed to happen because at the end of the day, there is no way at all that black men should be emboldened to say anything to black women about marriage. This man is ignoring the stats that says black men fail in marriages regardless to the race of the woman. He's ignoring the Brookings Institute despite having a psychology to remind you that you actually have to be well versed on research and research methods and statistics in order to obtain. But he's ignoring, though, the Brookings Institute data that says that black men are not marriage material for anybody. He's ignoring Ralph Richard Banks, who did the research, and anybody can do the research, and you will find that black men, because of their position in society, because of their mindset, because of their dereliction, they're the least desired men. They have no wealth, they have no resources to pass down, they have no social position, they have nothing. On average, they make $40,000 a year, which to me is poverty, but yet they're sitting up speaking for what high value men want. Shouldn't you become a high earning man before you start speaking on what high earning men want? Black men know nothing about being high value men because they've never been high value men, and they're still not high value men, and they will probably never be high value men because of their depraved, degenerate psyche. It just is what it is. But understand, black women, this is a response to you saying that you're done. Tables turn, the tables turn. What goes around comes back around. This is a response to you saying that I'm divesting and I'm going to better me. The message is not going towards those black male worshiping women. They're already willing to submit. They're already there on their knees with their mouth open, talking about how inferior they believe they are and how the men are the seed. So the black male worshiping black women are telling black men everything they need to hear, yet they're not married. Yet they don't select these women. Yet they still keep focusing on these women that they deem to be intolerable, insufferable, masculine, dramatic, unagreeable women who are unwilling to change. And yet these are the ones they're targeting their messages to. If she's unwilling to change, why are you sitting up in a TikTok video sending messages to her on what she needs to do to become marriage material? Shouldn't you be focusing on those masculine black male worshipers who are already over there willing to submit to you? Why are they not married? Probably because they're the real masculine women that black men don't want. And see, black women, you're going to get enough of worshiping men and thinking that this worship is going to garner you some kind of respect. It's not.
Yep.
Look at my channel, for example. Look at Nyla's channel, for example. Why is it that these men cannot stay away from women who they feel hate them? Because these are the women that black men want. They don't want the unattractive, masculine, black male worshiping woman who's running around holding up signs talking about she's the black man. They don't want those women. They want the women who have the self-esteem. They want the women who's not going to tolerate their bullshit. The problem is they cannot compete for those women. So because they can't compete for those women, they get in these raggedy, silly videos, looking dumb, talking about what high value men want and what you need to do to become marriage material, as if we don't know that you ain't even marriage material. It's not mistaking me that black men are the least desired men on the face of the planet, and they know it. Because if black men truly thought that they were the most desired, they would simply go on to their preferences and they would leave black women behind and not look back. There will be no need for sitting up with these silly messages, because you surely are not going to tell me that you're putting out these messages because you care so much about these intolerable, insufferable, masculine women that you said are not desirable to you. And then it's like these dudes are going to the point where they're telling black women to get out of their comment section. They're making statements about how it's always the women that they're not attracted to that's in the comment section shaming them. So at this point, black women, you just look silly. You're running around here listening to unoriginal trash bag bandits who have no creativity and who are basically just the dusty, confused, closeted LGBT sons of the kitten Samuels. Like, because notice how none of these dudes are original. Not even this one in here talking about he's paying attention to psychological studies.
I know, but it says
because all of the psychological studies talk about how there are men who, if they can't get women to submit to them, it's more of a reflection on the men than the women per se. But
they still
they're
putting the seasoning in
unoriginal.
it.
Not even the ones who have degrees and who have training are coming with anything new and innovative, and it's not working. Nobody's really listening to what black men are saying, not even these so-called masculine, unattractive black women. Black women are not changing anything because black men are sitting up here complaining.
That's right, exactly.
You're still running around with a dry dick. You're still an incel. You're still not getting any cooperation from
Oh
the
my
women
God,
that you want,
incel.
not the ones that you don't want, which are the black male worshipers. They want the cooperation from women who don't want them, and you're not going to get it. It doesn't matter how much you sit up here and make these shaming videos and talk about we're not desirable and we're intolerable and masculine. None of that is going to work. If that's the case, then take your ass on and go get you a preference and shut up and stop talking.
Thank you.
It just is what it is. But these dudes are not even original anymore. They can't even come with any content that's going to move anything. The Kitten and Heels ain't changing nothing. You ain't going to change nothing because nobody cares about what you say. They're empty, baseless words. You don't have anything to offer. Most of their message is geared towards complaining about the fact that women have standards, the non-black male worshiping ones, that you can't meet. Because understand that they wouldn't care about income level if they were making enough money. They wouldn't care about being providers if they could afford to be a provider. They wouldn't care about whatever it was that you brought to the table if they could meet the requirements. The reason they're complaining is because they are broke. If you were high value, you wouldn't be complaining about being a provider and her wanting money. It just is what it is. So the bottom line of it is these dudes already know what it is. They're not desirable to anybody, and they can't get the women that they want. It's really just that simple. Listen, black women, you can fall for the okie doke if you want to, but I'm going to put it to you like this. Black men are making these videos because they already know they are not desired. They know that these women already see them for who they are. You think these black men don't see these preferences throwing up TikTok videos complaining about getting the same black men? Black men already feel that reckoning coming. They know, number one, the black women that they want are divesting from them. They know their preferences are putting out videos vindicating black women, talking about how they got the same black man, how these men are cheating on them and leaving them baby mamas and not paying child support. They got to run to the same system that you got to run to get black men to take care of their children. You guys heard that woman on my channel, and I am going to interview her soon, but you heard her say that literally all of the women of no color that she know who are married to black men get the same black man. Black men stalk my channel, they stalk Nyla's channel because we're putting out this information that's going to affect their dating outcomes. If their preferences are now realizing that they're getting the same black man, what does that mean for black men in the future? Less options. So what this is a last-ditch pathetic attempt to get black women who already see them for the struggle bandit, air mattress mandingos that they are, to see some value in them. And we ain't going. We know that you're the least desired man on the face of the planet, and that if you were truly the most desired, you wouldn't even be sitting up in a video trying to manipulate black women into believing your struggle narrative. We know that you're not a high value man, that you're in the 40K a year on average group. You ain't the ones who should be sitting up here talking about what a woman got to do to get married when you ain't even getting married. And even if a black woman does get married to you, she has nothing to gain except dick, dust, and heartache. These men already know that. But the problem is because there's such a high amount of black male worshiping black women, it's making these undesired men think that somehow the black women who are trying to divest care something about them, and we don't. I don't care nothing about what this black man got to say. I don't care about what the Kitten and Heels got to say. I could go my entire life not marrying one of you and I will be fine. You will never be able to manipulate me with marriage because you will never control anything that I desire. And if black women were smart, you would take that power away from these struggle bandits. Number one, they ain't getting married anyway. Number two, even if you do get married, you're not getting money, you're not getting property, you're not getting an elevated social status. All you get is basically a ring pop and the ability to run around and say you got a struggle bandit on your arm. I hope it's worth it all the dick, dust, heartache, and degeneracy is worth you being able to say, well, I got a ring on my finger. What if black women didn't care about marriage? What would these men sit up here and say then? Nothing. Because you would have been took the wind out of their sails. You would have been able to take away the only little meager, mediocre thing that they control, which is the proposal. Y'all better stop letting these struggle banded air mattress mandingos who can't even afford pictures and art to put on their wall to tell you what high value men want. And no, it did not escape me that this man is sitting up in this apartment with dated light fixtures and no art on his wall because he can't afford it. But he's sitting up here talking about what women need to do to become marriage material. Marriage material to who? The men who are the least likely to get married and most likely to fail if they do get married. Those are the ones we should want to ring from, please. I'm going to tell you something. Listen. Black men are the least desired males on the planet who have no resources, no money, no upward ability, and no means of protecting any woman regardless to her race. Black men have consistently failed in all areas of people activity, but they have been consistently successful in keeping black women invested in them. They've been successful in keeping black women invested in their opinion and desiring them for mates, despite the fact that black women don't benefit from being with black men. You gain nothing. Ain't nobody else sitting up listening to black men run off their distorted criteria of what a woman must meet in order to marry them, because who wants to marry black men other than black women? Nobody. Starve them out. Who cares if they don't give you a ring? Who cares? Who cares? Will your life improve if you have a black man in it? No. Chances are he's going to drag you down, bring you drama, dick, dust, and heartache. It just is what it is. Yet they sit up here talking as if they actually have something to offer somebody. The audacity. You guys get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about these videos from this Angry Bird air mattress mandingo. What do you think about the comment section and how black women are all in the comments basically begging black men to make these disclaimers? Why are you doing that? Do you not understand how you being in the comment section trying to change his mind is emboldening these men? What if there weren't thousands of comments from black women in there? Then what? Do you think black men would keep making these silly videos? No, they wouldn't. And y'all can stop sending me videos about the kitten and heels too. I don't care. That's another dick sucking bitch.
That was the video I was supposed to get, Mrs. Keefus.
The kitten in heels, and she called that man. Wait. She called that man a air mattress mandingo.
Bandit.
I was trying to push the button to say that. Now you know I hit the wrong button every time I get ready to say something.
But that was the video I was supposed to have did. What you call it, X and Fly Nubian Queen ain't speaking no more. So they got beef. Now I meant to cover that beef, but as I was saying, she's 100% right. We go around bigging these men up, calling them kings. Where all our kings at?
They did.
And look how where all our kings go. We would never call another man a king in here again until they earn their stripes.
Well, Trejo's earned his, so we can call him.
No, Trejo's did not. I know what I'm saying. He earned it, but he had to make a choice.
Oh, shit. Ooh, slap my face.
Choice had to be made. And even before then, hey king, and all the kings just left. So we ain't calling no more men kings up in here. That's it.
No.
And then they either root for the other side or something. So men don't like when you big them up and stuff like that. When she said that made me, I'm like, well, damn.
You can't put them on a pedestal. You can't put them on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be on no pedestal.
So we gonna be queens, and they're gonna be wherever they are, but they will not be kings. I just can't call around. You got that right. You got that right, Lady Pat. This whole thing was banging, but I wanted to get on a beef with what is it, Maya X? Something X. Oh man.
That y'all have elevated because you care so much about his opinion.
And Fly Nubian
Whatever you
Queen.
think, get in the comment section and let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. When you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe to all notifications so you'll know every time I go live and when I upload new content. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.
She talked about you, about what you do, but where her man at, though?
Section. Let me know what you think about these videos from this Angry
want
Bird
that
Air
picture.
Mattress Mandingo. What do you think about the comment section and how black women are all in the comments basically begging black men to make these disclaimers?
What is going on in Vigoville? Nothing.
It all went on this morning.
I got it
Shoot.
this morning. I got all the good
Last
stuff.
night.
Yeah, I got that too. What they need to be doing something now. What the hell wrong with them?
They sleep, girl. They've been up all night.
I wanted to show, what's it called it? Let me see if I still have it here. That's gonna be another whole video. What is her name? Maya X, something like that.
Trina B was on there cussing out the girl, the one that was selling the purses the other day.
I think I found the other one you was talking about, but I didn't watch it. What you call it?
Oh, okay.
With the green hair monster.
Oh, Shaky?
Yeah. I was like, she had me looking for this damn thing, the whole damn thing.
But you talking about the interview with what is his name?
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out. I wanted to do this particular
I want
video.
some chicken, man.
I just had me some curry chicken.
I want some cooked all from the Asian place. Some of that brandy wine chicken. I gotta find some. Let me get online.
That chicken I saw, I did not like. It was really salty, and I'm praying my feet do not blow up. All I'm sitting here doing is don't blow up.
Oh no, I tell them ahead of time. Don't salty my stuff up.
Damn, I don't see it.
There's a wing place up the street. I might have to get them up. Yesterday was Tuesday.
Fly Nubian
What
Queen.
is it? Is it Wednesday? When is
I didn't know
you guys
Wednesday
have,
was Libra. It's Wednesday.
Y'all got Wingstop?
Yeah, we got a Wingstop.
Is it Wednesday? When is the wing
I just found
break?
out. I don't know, but I just found out it was Wednesday myself.
Okay, yeah, let me call. I gotta get in touch with Wingstop because I need some chicken in my life. And I'm not cooking because I got blessed today.
Her name is Fly Nubian Queen. She had beef with that girl. I'm gonna find that girl who she had beef with. The pill is here. What pill she talking about? Who was the girl she had the beef with? They started out together, and now they got beef.
You talking about her on the screen?
Who? Oh, Dan was on the screen. No.
Oh.
It's Fly Nubian. I think her name is Maya X or Mia X. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't see her too much no more.
No, she was on, but they had beef. They started out together doing Fly Nubian Queens. And then it just dismantled.
You know how it is when somebody want to be in charge. Too many Indians, not enough chiefs.
And I cannot find the one I was looking for. Because she was making her statement to her. Now, do you really think Megan Good and her husband is getting a divorce? That's what's been posted, but I ain't never heard none of them say it was over. And that don't mean they
She
get
want. She wanna. I believe she wanna be with a white man. She wanna do. She wanna be like Eve.
We don't know.
But Eve, she the man that she got with, he genuinely love her. It ain't nothing like no hookup, uh, date night type crap. That man love her. He married her,
Yeah,
and
but he also know what he married. But
exactly.
my thing is, you in that field too. You in the industry too. You know what you. They both know what they married, and I knew it was gonna be confliction. Cause don't let Mr. Nice Face fool you. He's still an Aries man, and she's still a Leo woman. So it's with that combination. It's when it's good, it's
I
good.
can't see Megan Good getting a divorce. That's
I could. The Leo ass. Every time Leo can't get their way, they want a divorce. Shit. Every time we can't get our way, we want a divorce. Damn it. Shoot.
I hope not. I love Megan Good. That's my
I
girl.
love her too, but she's still a lioness, and I know when she can't get her way, she want a divorce. Every time we can't get our way, we want to be no. When we bother no more, we don't like you no more.
I remember one time I I I, I don't know what something that happened to our car, and I had been I was young then. I was taking my son to school on the bike. He was in kindergarten, and I was riding to the street, taking him to school and all that. And I got tired when Friday came. I told him, if you don't have me a car by my baby daddy, my husband, I said no, not my son's father. But anyway, I said, if you don't have me a car by Monday, I'm leaving your ass. Period. Point blank. He said, oh, I'll be right back. Girl, that man left. Let me tell you, he called. He didn't call that night. I didn't even hear from him. But that next night, he called and he said, come and pick me up. Now, I don't have no car. He said, come pick me up. Uh, pull on side of such and such store. Just park right there. Just pull up, park right there. So I said, well, wait a minute. Let me go see if my neighbor, because I had a little white friend. So I went over there. Said, Nancy, come take me. Girl, she took me. We went. We parked. And I thought he was going to come out, walk out the store or something. Girl, that fool came out the bushes, ran, jumped in the car, and
You dropped my
ducked
stuff on
down.
the floor.
It was in your lap. It was literally in your lap. You let it go.
And it's not hot.
And so, and after he hopped in the car, girl,
That's mine.
You don't want it in the freezer?
I'm trying to tell a story, Anthony.
He had to go give me the goods, girl.
Yeah. So look, girl, he hops in the car, and so he in the back seat, and he ducks down. He ducked out, laid down in the back seat, and so he said, "Go, go, just go ahead and go." I said, "Go, girl, I see there's something going on." So I'm telling her, "Go." So we driving down the street, and we get like 2 blocks down the thing, and he reaches over the seat, girl, and drops a whole bunch of money in my lap. I was like, "Oh my goodness." And I turned around and I was like, what did you do? And his whole forehead he had a bash in his forehead, girl. And I don't know what he did, but I bet you I had that car the next day. Bet you that. So don't tell me what a black man won't do for a black woman. That was one time when he wasn't working. Other than that, he worked. But when he didn't work, he went out there and I don't know what he did.
Please, I like to take this channel has nothing to do with none of her none of her rendezvous, none of her Hollywoods.
I thought I'd throw that in since they think that black men don't do for black women. I beg to differ.
Mickey X talks David Banner and Kevin Samuels. Michi X on Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I gotta
Oh
go
my
find out what's going
God, what kind of mess? This girl keeps sending me messages. Oh Lord Jesus.
on. Oh, Kevin Samuels banned from Bloomingdale's. He ain't the cutest thing. Let me tell you. Remember, I played that video at the end of the show, right?
He got kicked out of Bloomingdale's.
I don't know. I'm gonna find out tomorrow.
He must have been in there really showing out.
You know, I'm gonna show that tomorrow. Shoot, I don't show nothing else, so I'm gonna show that. I'll show that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in them Bigo streets. Shoot. God.
My pussy's better than yours. My pussy's better than yours. It roars like a lion.
It roars. Oh my God.
That's what he say in the song.
I ain't hear all that. Can you get your ass down, down, down? Damn it! I can't stand this cat or dog. Michi X. Hell, let me just go see what's going on in the Bigo world.
You live in Brooklyn?
Who?
You.
Maybe. Who want to know? Who would like to know?
I just be wondering about the neighborhoods out there.
I thought somebody else was asking me.
No, I just wonder because what's his name? Zeus God, or whatever his name is. He was in a nice place in Brooklyn. I don't know where that apartment. He said it was in Brooklyn, and it was very nice. He was up in the sky. I said, "Oh, okay, look at him."
He ain't paying for that fucking apartment, baby.
Huh?
That's somebody's house. That ain't his house.
He said it was.
You know how much something like that costs? Shit.
He said it was $2,000 a month.
That's a lie, and Bigo don't even give you that much money for no shit like that. He must be paying that Airbnb money.
Mm-hmm. It didn't look. The furniture didn't look like he picked it. I'm telling you that right now. But it was a nice place. I like the neighborhood.
It was nice, but it wasn't his.
I like the area.
He a fool job, but you ain't fooling me.
I didn't think it was his place. I just liked the area. It looked very, very much like an area that I like to be in.
I'm trying to see what's going on these Bigo streets real quick. It's dried up.
Yeah, well, it lights up at night. That's when everything goes down.
That's when you hose down the street.
But I gotta learn how to. I was trying to log in on my laptop. It won't even let me log in so that I can download some stuff, and then I can start, having something to send you. But this thing won't even let me log
I don't
in.
know how to do that neither.
No, something's wrong with my computer. It won't even. It's brand new. It won't let me log in.
I don't know how to do that neither, sis.
If it's easy with this one, but they won't let me in to do it. You have to get you one of these. I think it's a Chromebook, something book.
Yeah, but I still don't have to. I still don't know how to do it.
It's just a button on there. They just tell you, just it say you want to download something, they just boop, push the button.
Nature Boy comes out on how Nature Boy feels about. Oh my God,
Oh, he is so
SL Davis,
sickening.
we love you, but
He
nobody
was
wants to see
last
him no
night.
more.
Oh my God.
Oh, Trina B reading Savannah,
Yes.
but that's only a minute. I need more time than that.
Oh
No, I
yeah.
showed that. I
That's
showed that. I
not.
showed that.
That was just a phone call.
Mm-mm. We want to get to the real stuff. Goddamn.
Mm-hmm. Shayna B was reading a whole bunch of folks last night,
Mm-mm.
but she played that already.
Demi chilling 21 higher instant. A IG manager.
I think Demi went to rehab today. Wasn't she in rehab last night? This morning?
Hell no.
Yeah, she did. She was sitting in a rehab class online.
Oh God.
It was funny as hell. And 21 was sitting back at the room on live talking about it's my birthday. Send me $1, y'all. It's my birthday. Today my birthday, y'all.
She been saying her birthday the 24th. Every goddamn day. I'm like, if you tell me your birthday one more goddamn time, I'm gonna slap you.
But I can say this, since that girl came back, 21 look a whole lot better.
Everybody said she don't play, and they was trying to make it seem like her mother threw her out. I said, not the video that I seen. Remember the video I showed her when we go see her grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
That was a loving family. It
Well,
is
the white girl said that Demi is a very positive and headstrong person. So she ain't with the bullshit now. She had a 45-year-old in check.
Yeah, but she also sat there and lied and said how she burnt her bridges with her family. I said, no, no, no. I went and found that video real quick. I was like, no, her and her mother talk. They have a very good relationship. That ain't no burn no bridges. Remember the nieces was like, when you coming back again, Auntie? And she was playing with them and playing with the grandmother and they had a good little. That's not a burn bridges type of family. The way that no.
Girl, she at 21 have her hair combed and looked like she didn't had a bath. She looked like she had some lotion on and everything.
Today?
Yeah, this morning. I said, "Oh Lord, look at her. Looking like
Did you
she's
see
sick."
when she went crazy? The Terry, I was having your baby. And then for 6 days, I got your baby out of it. Like, what the hell is going on with this chick?
Who she said that to?
Nature Nut.
Oh, talking about when she had the rock baby.
That girl was going crazy.
She had the
And he
ocean
was like,
rock
I'm
baby.
sorry, and all that other shit. I want to see if this is the same one. I was watching that. I was like, yo, this chick is sick, or whatever demon he put in her ass. God damn.
This morning he had the nerve when he was talking to Visa. This nigga had the nerve to take his goddamn pants off and was standing up there in his drawers in front of the mirror with the phone. And Visa was like, "What you doing?" And he was like, "I'm doing this for the ladies." And oh my God, the comments went crazy. Everybody was like, "No, no, sit your ass down." I
To
was like,
who?
to Nature Boy.
Cause we were like, he think he passed the P. He's still mad at
Girl,
me.
he thought he was fine. He was like,
Mad at
yeah, this is
I'm
what the ladies like. And all the ladies, and I was like,
right. Or who channel that was on? Because I'm gonna put on Pastor P right after that.
Look, somebody said, you don't look better than Pastor P. Somebody said Pastor P is the finest one man on Bigo. Oh my God.
God,
oh God.
I
Out of all the comments, he saw that comment. He was like, "Oh, see, yeah, Pastor P. See, his face ain't like mine. See, I'm I'm fine, and I'm fine. But Pastor P, he ain't. His face don't look like his.
That Queen, so I could play it.
Huh?
Where you saw that so I could play it?
Oh, that's when it was him and Visa.
On what on which channel? Well, I'm
It was
out
on
here. Meet me over there so we can find it. And Caroline, you off work? Today is gonna be Friday, okay? We make it Friday just
for Nature Boy.
My Caroline, me and Boss Lady got a song for you. My sweet Caroline. Go ahead.
Hey, sweet as cherry wine.
Sweet as cherry wine.
Oh, would you please be mine?
Hey, cause you are sweet.
I love you all the time. My Caroline.
My sweet Caroline. Hey, you sweeter than honey pie. Hey.
Yep, that's our song.
All right, we're gonna find Nature Boy. Then we're gonna see him with his pants off. Then we're gonna see.
Who we going to Tony T?
Yeah, we're gonna Tony T to see that. Bye.
All right.
And whoever like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe.